Hello Tubies, I hope you're all doing fantastically fabulous and welcome back to another episode of The Witchy Show. If you're not currently subscribed, please consider doing so, liking and commenting. I would like to know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Today's video topic is going to be on glamour magic and if it's real or if it works. My understanding of glamour magic, at least from Hollywood fiction and TV shows such as Charmed, is that it's used to change your appearance. I'm not particularly sure if that's what other witches in the community think glamour magic is, but I don't really think that's a good definition for glamour magic, considering it comes from Hollywood fiction. When it comes to glamour magic, you're usually trying to make the world or the people around you perceive you differently or think about you differently or look at you differently. That's my understanding of glamour magic. I could be horribly wrong. Please sound off in the comment section down below. When it comes to glamour magic, I've never done glamour magic myself. I know some people will try to do glamour magic to hide the fact that they're a heavier set person, or try to hide the fact that they have a zit on their face, or something else like that. Usually, when I conjure up the image of glamour magic, it's, as I've stated before, making people perceive you differently, think of you differently. I'm not particularly sure if it works though, or if it's just a facade that you're putting up using magic to hide some kind of other insecurity or issue or what have you. For example, the person who asked this question stated that they were having some issues in their life and not doing mentally well. And I'm not particularly sure if glamour magic would help you in those cases, because it really, to me, it just sounds like it's something where it's hiding the underlying issue. You're using magic to hide something that you don't like about yourself and trying to just kind of put forward a facade for other people so that they don't have to see you in pain or dealing with issues that you're otherwise dealing with in your day-to-day life. Whether glamour magic or not works is completely subjective and up to every other witch. It's my opinion that it's not really worth it. And I don't know, at least from my craft, I don't think it would work. Everybody's craft is different, everybody's experiences are different, so by no means am I telling you that glamour magic doesn't work or that it's a joke or that it's not real. I think that there are some people out there that definitely think it's real and think it works for them, and if it does work for you, then congratulations. But for me, it just feels like you're trying to hide the underlying situation or not deal with the problem at hand, and you're just trying to cover it up. Kind of like when you put makeup on and you're covering up blemishes or whatnot. Now, I'm not saying that you're not trying to deal with those blemishes. Maybe you are, and you just don't want the world to see the blemishes. But for me, it kind of feels like makeup in a way. There is some glamour magic that I have heard of. For example, if you are really depressed and you're really sad and you're just not feeling normal, you can sit in front of a mirror and visualize yourself smiling and being upbeat and happy and so on and so forth. And then if you are in a trance-like state, you can see past the image that you see in the mirror and see yourself smiling and happy and upbeat. Now, glamour magic can, in some instances, help bring you out of a slump, because it's the whole age-old saying of fake it until you make it, right? So you just kind of fake the fact that you're happy, you just kind of put that image forward, and eventually it becomes reality. Whether that's true or not, I don't really know. Glamour magic is a hard topic for me to talk about because A, I've never done glamour magic, and B, like I said, every time I think about glamour magic, I'm thinking about television shows and movies as opposed to what reality is. I haven't found a clear-cut definition of what glamour magic is on the internet. A lot of blogs, TikTok videos, YouTube, Facebook, I even asked in a Facebook group earlier today, and it really came across as this thing where you're casting a spell to make the world perceive you differently, either physically, emotionally, mentally, or whatever the case may be. If it's in the case of making people see you differently, like physically, not, I wouldn't say physically see you differently, such as you're a bigger person and they see you as a skinny human being, but more see you differently so that you're not, let's say you've been really down and you've been really depressed and you use glamour magic to, I guess, hide that or cover that up, and people start seeing you as this happy, upbeat person when inside you're hurting and you feel miserable. I guess that's a form of glamour magic, but at the same time, is it something that's really healthy for you to be doing if you're in that kind of situation where on the inside you feel emotionally depleted, exhausted, and you don't feel good about yourself, and so you're using these types of magics to cover that up so that people don't see that? Is that healthy? I'm not particularly sure, but again, each to their own, and it's not my life and it's not my choices or decisions on what I do. Essentially, it doesn't affect me. But if it works for you, then I guess it works for you. You just have to ask yourself, why am I needing glamour magic? Why am I needing to cast this type of magic? So one of the things that has come up in some of the questions I've asked around glamour magic, especially in the Facebook group, is that it helps to make objects, people, so on and so forth, be perceived differently in reality than they otherwise would be. And that goes back to the whole covering things up and just kind of putting a layer of makeup, essentially, if you will, over top of it. Again, it goes back to the example of putting makeup over to cover blemishes, right? So that people don't see your blemishes, they don't see your flaws. A lot of people will use glamour magic to do that kind of thing for their emotional or mental or spiritual well-being. But at the same time, that again leads me back to the question of, is it healthy to use glamour magic to hide the fact that you're depressed or you're miserable or you're sad or you're going through a really difficult time? Is it not better to just accept the fact that you're going through a difficult time and you're not dealing with things right now? Maybe you've lost somebody in your family, maybe you've lost your job and it's got you really down. Whatever the case may be, it really leads me to ask, is it something that is appropriate to do as opposed to going through the motions, essentially going through those emotions? That really comes back down to another question that somebody had asked me a while ago about numbing yourself, magic to numb yourself because you don't want to deal with the pain and the hurt. Some people will use glamour magic so that they don't give off or portray the fact that they're hurting and that they're not able, they're just basically not okay on the inside. And I mean, again, this goes back to each to their own. You're going to do whatever you want to do, especially if you're looking to take back or to have some semblance of control and power in your life at this moment when otherwise you don't, or you feel like you don't. My advice to people who are considering to use glamour magic in order to kind of mask those issues or not deal with those issues, or just kind of put forward a facade of I'm happy and everything is okay, is to accept the fact that you're not happy and accept the fact that you're not doing well, and just kind of process that, do some shadow work around that, and ask some questions, do some introspection, do some reflection, and figure out how do I get out of this slump. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use glamour magic or that glamour magic is bad or that the only people that use glamour magic are those who are trying to run away from themselves or put forward a fake facade so that other people don't have to see who they really are. But it just leads me to ask, like, is this an appropriate thing to do when you're maybe suffering from depression or you've got other issues going on in your life? I know that there are some nasty and some vile people out there that will use glamour magic to hide the fact that they're nasty and they're vile, to put forward a facade of caring and trusting. It's the old spider web trap kind of magic where they will use glamour magic to basically pretend that they're somebody that they're not, when in reality, simple magics can get around that and really expose them for who they really are. So I would just be careful if you're the type of nasty person who wants to use glamour magics to trick and trap other people and to manipulate them and so on and so forth. I think in our everyday life we use some form of glamour, whether it's magic or not. I mean, there are definitely days where I don't feel 110% and I have to fake it, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, if you're somebody who's dealing with serious issues right now, whether it be PTSD or childhood trauma or whatever, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be down in the slumps and feel less than and feel like garbage. I mean, just go through the motions. You're not always going to feel this way forever. And, you know, we all go through darkness and dark times and troubling times and so on and so forth. And we all feel like we don't have any power, especially if you've come out of an abusive relationship or you've come out of a toxic friendship, or you've been dealing with some really nasty negative things in your life and you're just coming out of that, right? It's okay to feel the way that you feel, right? I wouldn't say to use magic to hide that and to pretend like everything is okay, but again, at the end of the day, it's each to their own. It's their own decisions. I can't tell you how to live your life. I can't tell you how to practice your craft, and nor would I want to, because I don't like it when other people tell me what to do, okay? If you have comments and opinions and thoughts on glamour magic, please leave them down in the comment section down below. If there are other video topics that you'd like me to talk about, please feel free to leave those down in the comment section down below. I might have gotten glamour magic wrong this entire time, but I was approaching it from the position of the person who reached out to me to do a video on it, where they're not feeling 100%, and I'm not sure if they were asking about glamour magic in relation to that or not, but I thought I would draw upon it because mental health and the craft are a balancing act. When you're not feeling 110% of yourself, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling miserable, that really affects your energies, that affects how you do your magics. If you do your magics, it really affects a lot of things, okay? I also wanted to let you know that I have been recording a bunch of videos with a bunch of new video topics and ideas and so on and so forth. And I'm not sure when they'll be coming. I'm just kind of doing my own thing these days and just kind of relaxing and not really worrying about too many things. I've been dealing with a lot of drama on YouTube. I've been dealing with a lot of drama on TikTok and so on and so forth. And just some really nasty and negative energy that's been coming my way from other people. And, you know, I'm just kind of doing my own thing right now and taking care of those particular situations and working a lot. So I do have a bunch of videos. I'm just not particularly sure when they're going to come. But if you have video topic ideas and suggestions, I will definitely try and get to them. I'm trying something new with the Witchy Show. I'm not particularly sure if it's going to work out, but we'll see, okay? Until next time, my fabulous tubies.